What's going on, everybody? I hope you're enjoying your week. All right. So, as far as we know, the last interview we conducted for our open offensive coordinator job was this last week. And since then, we haven't heard any news. Nothing has been announced. And we do know that we've reached out to Clint Kubiak for an interview. I don't know if that's going to happen this week. I haven't heard any reports of a time or date scheduled. And with the Super Bowl coming up, if we don't interview him in the next day or so, we might miss our opportunity. And then we'd have to wait until after the Super Bowl to conduct that interview. So, because we haven't heard anything, it kind of gives the opportunity for rumors to kind of get thrown out there. And we did get one. And so I'm going to get into that, and I want you guys try to get you guys' thoughts and feedback on that, because I have gotten some comments regarding this name from you guys on previous videos. So, but before we get into it, if you could please like this video, subscribe, turn on those notifications. I appreciate all my subscribers, and I appreciate all of you guys viewing. I appreciate the support. So thank you very much. Now, Mike Florio, which is with Pro Football Talk, he's part of NBC. He's got a podcast on NBC. He basically has come out and said that Chip Kelly, which is with UCLA right now, might make another run at the NFL. And if he does, he tried to link the Las Vegas Raiders with him. And so obviously if he tries to make another run, it won't be as a head coach, because we all know how that worked out. And I'll get into those details in a second. But it will most likely be for an offense coordinator job. And what is the open position that we're looking for? Offensive coordinator. So there's that. And then there's just this delay. There's a delay. We've interviewed a ton of candidates. We obviously have Clint Kubiak lingering out there, but Cliff Kingsbury, he's interviewed twice and he's come and gone. And so, but there's this delay. We don't know what's happening. So are they looking for another name? And then in addition to that, Hondo Carpenter, which is a beat writer for Sports Illustrated, he's in the walls of the Raiders facility. He talks to the coaches, he talks to the front office, he talks to the players, and he reported that there is a name out there that is a ex-head coach, a big name, ex-head coach of the NFL, a big name that possibly could emerge as a candidate. And so that kind of points to that lets me know that there's a chance that Chip Kelly could be that name. And so I wanted to kind of jump on here and get your guys' opinion, because in prior videos, there have been a handful of you guys that have said you wanted either Chip Kelly to come in and interview, or you wanted him as a possible candidate. And so obviously with Chip Kelly, he's with UCLA, but where he really made his name was with Oregon, right? So he was with Oregon. He really brought on that RPO offense with Oregon. You know, he ran that to a T. He still tried to run that over with the Eagles when he was in the NFL, and now he's running with UCLA. So he loves that RPO style offense, and he runs a very fast-paced offense, that no huddle, just gas, put the pedal to the metal type of offense. And so he's always got the foot pedal down, and they like to run that offense quickly. And then, when he was with Oregon, he led Oregon to four straight BCS bowl games, and he made it to a national championship. So that's a really huge feat for him. And but then he transferred to the NFL in 2013, and we'll kind of get into that. So let me know in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on Chip Kelly? Do you want to see Chip Kelly as one of our candidates that we come in and interview, or do you really want to see him as our offensive coordinator? Because right now I think there's really two names at the top of the list. He could potentially be a third if his name emerges. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of Chip Kelly. Now, like I said, he was with the Eagles from 2013 to 2015. He did have 1 year stint with the 49ers. His NFL career at that point didn't work out, and he finds himself at UCLA. Now, the majority of the success that he has found has really been at the college levels between Oregon and UCLA. And some of the pros that I have on him is, one, he's got great head coaching experience. He's been a head coach at almost every spot that he's been to: Oregon, Eagles, 49ers, UCLA. He's got a lot of head coaching experience, which is a positive. And then he's proven that he can run a successful offense, not just at the college level, but he can run a good offense at the pro level. He did it with the Eagles. 2 out of his 4 years with the Eagles, they had a good offense. And so I got to give him that. And then he's got extensive play calling experience. If you want someone that has a play calling experience, he's got as much as you would be looking for. And so those are definitely some pros. Let me know what your pros are in the comments down below. If you have, more things that are really a true um, upside to Chip Kelly? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, prior to him going to the Eagles were really a bad team. They were 4-12, and then they bring Chip Kelly in to really turn around that offense, and he turned it around quickly. So in 2013, when he finally took over that Eagles team, he was fourth in points per game at 27.6. He was second in yards per game, ninth in passing, and first in rushing. So he really transformed that Oregon offense to a fairly balanced offense. And that RPO game was pretty solid over there with the Eagles when he was there. Now, in 2013, they did go 10-6. He clinched the NFC East. He did produce 4 Pro Bowlers out of that team between Nick Foles, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, the 2 linemen, Jason Peters and Evan Mathis. In addition to that, he also had studs on that offense: Jason Avant, Brent Selleck, Jason Kelsey, and Lane Johnson. And then on the defensive side, they had studs there too: Fletcher Cox, D'Amico Ryans, Michael Kendricks, which was the linebacker to Cal. I really liked him coming out of college. And then Trent Cole, the linebacker opposite of Michael Kendricks. And so really solid team in 2013, produced a really good offense. And they really repeated that success in 2014, right? Still finished 10-6, but they just missed the playoffs. They basically had the same roster. Now, outside of that, after the 2014 season, the more and more research I did, you look at what happened in the 2015 season. I didn't really know exactly what happened, but I wanted to jump on here and kind of share with what I found. And after the 2014 season, one of the things that really changed was Chip Kelly was actually given power to handle the roster. He didn't have that before, but all of a sudden, upper management, the organization, gave him power to handle the roster. And after the 2014 season, after the success that they had, this is the moves that he made. He released Deshaun Jackson after Deshaun Jackson had one of his best years with the Eagles. He ended up releasing Deshaun Jackson. I believe he went to Washington. He traded Nick Foles to the Rams for Sam Bradford, which was one of the dumbest trades. I remember when I read it, I remembered that trade, and that kind of boggled my mind because Sam Bradford was really injury-ridden at that point. And then he traded away LaShawn McCoy. After he had one of the best rushing offenses, he trades away his number 1 running back, LaShawn McCoy, to the Buffalo Bills, and he brings over Kiko Alonso, which was a linebacker that played with them in Oregon. And so why you make that trade, I'm not exactly sure. If you guys know more about it, let me know in the comments. But now with all that trade, especially when you let LaShawn McCoy go, that pissed off the entire Philly fan base. I remember that. I actually reached out to one of my buddies that's a Philly fan before I jumped on here just to kind of get like what his reaction was, and the fan base was pissed. That's what he said. And so, and rightfully so. And one of the reasons, when he released LaShawn McCoy, the next move he made was kind of mind-boggling. If you guys remember, DeMarco Murray, the running back for the Cowboys, he was one of, if not the best rusher in the league prior to that year. And then he made the trade for DeMarco Murray to come to the Eagles, thinking that DeMarco Murray would fit in his scheme, in his run system. And that ended horribly, to say the least. I remember it. I remember just how bad DeMarco Murray was. And so at the end of that 2015 season, they basically flip-flopped their record. They went from a back-to-back 10-6 record down to 6-10. And so that was kind of the end of his reign in Philly. He went on to the 49ers, tanked there real badly, and then obviously now he finds himself at UCLA. And then as I was doing a little more research, I uncovered some more information. So some of those star players, like Deshaun Jackson, like LaShawn McCoy, like Lane Johnson, they came out afterwards and really had some pretty negative things to say about Chip Kelly. And so one of the things, there was a long list of stuff that they would break down, but one of the things that stuck out to me was Chip Kelly was really he was all about his system. He didn't think he had to change his system. He thought the players had to adapt to his system, which is one of the worst things you can do in the NFL. I'm a firm believer that you need to take your system and adjust it and adapt it to the personnel that you have. Because in the NFL, between free agency, between players getting injured, between contract talks, personnel funnels in and out every single season. You need to be able to adapt your system, or at least the base of your system, around the players that you have, and get the best of the personnel that you have available to you. And that's one of the things that they said, is he was not willing to adapt his system, and they had to adapt to him. He truly did think his system was gold. And look, it works great at the college level, but maybe it doesn't transfer well long term in the NFL. And so, again, he found himself in the 49ers. He left them because that was a mess over there, and now he's with UCLA, and he's doing well with UCLA. Now, look, I'm all about second chances. I do feel like everybody deserves a second chance. You have that opportunity to learn from your mistakes, see what you did wrong, see how you can correct it, and apply it. And if you can do that, great. So I'm all about second chances. But to be honest, there are some coaches, and it's been proven in the past, some coaches are better off at the college level and not the NFL, and vice versa. So again, there's nothing wrong with that, but some coaches are just better off at the college level. And again, nothing wrong. So I'll end you with this. Who do you want as our next offensive coordinators for Las Vegas Raiders? We got Cliff Kingsbury. He's come in twice, but we haven't locked him up. We got Clint Kubiak that we're reaching out for an interview. But then Chip Kelly's name might emerge with this reporting that's coming out. So let me know in the comments down below, who do you want as the offensive coordinator for our Las Vegas Raiders? All right, guys, I appreciate you. Please, again, if you can, like this video, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.